Okay, this video is going to be a little bit different than the normal channel videos that I put out. So obviously this is our Dyson, our DC07. This is a viewer request video actually, because my wife wanted me to put this up because she couldn't find anything about her problem that she was trying to YouTube and figure out why our Dyson no longer seemed to be picking up pet hair from our rugs and carpet. Used to be able to pick up pet hair just fine, and now it just doesn't seem to be doing it anymore. So figured I'd take it apart and see what's going on. Several problems it could be, and I'll go over each one. So underneath here, first of all, if your Dyson is still all in one piece, it's working, turn it on. Turn it to carpet mode. Make sure that when you move this switch, don't move it gently. Move it forcefully into the carpet mode, just to make sure that the clutch, there's a clutch inside here, and to make sure that that goes into the carpet mode, which will spin the brush head. If it doesn't engage properly, then the brush might not spin at full speed. So make sure you pull it out of carpet mode and back into carpet mode with a nice firm twist, and see if that might help. What you can do is, while it's on in carpet mode and the brush is spinning, just reach your fingers under here. You don't want to put your fingers up inside like to grab onto it, but you can just put them in here gently, and I take no responsibility if you mangle your fingers, but it shouldn't do anything if you just leave them flat on the ground and just feel the brush. And if you feel the brush and it stops based on the pressure from your hand, then that's no good. That means your clutch isn't working properly, probably. It could also be that your brush head, there's bearings in there, and those might have gone out, and so they're not able to spin freely. So it could be a couple of different problems. Luckily, none of it is very expensive. So I recommend, if you have that problem, you just replace all these parts that I'm going to talk to you about. So first of all, the brush. The brush right here, in the ends, both ends, there are bearings in the brush. You can buy a new brush from Amazon or Dyson, and they're not very expensive, so you can replace that. The belts, there's a belt under here that's attached to the clutch mechanism, which is buried into here, and the clutch mechanism turns the brush mode on. So that belt might be worn out. The belt going to the motor itself, which is also under here and attached to the clutch. The clutch unit comes as one unit. Here's my old one, and this is a very worn old unit. This is actually, there's a date on it. It says 2004, and it's 2022. So this unit has been in this Dyson since we bought it new in, I don't know, 2005, I think. And so these belts should be really tight to this unit. Like, there should be very little slack, and you can see how much slack there is in this belt and in this belt. So this fatter belt is the brush belt. This skinnier belt is the motor belt. Both of them shouldn't have this much slack. This is very, very worn out. And so when this was trying to engage the brush head, there was not enough friction between the belt and the brush to spin it with enough force to overcome the friction between the little brushes and the carpet, or your fingers. If you stuck your hand under there, and it would stop, my hand would stop the brush head from moving. So that's a sure sign that you have an issue with your clutch, most likely, and it all really comes down to these belts. And if they're worn out, it's not going to work very well. So replace the clutch, replace this brush head. You can, once you take this off, and you have to take it off in order to replace the clutch, you can spin it in your hand and see if it spins freely. And there's a video that I'm going to link to. I'm not going to show you how to take it all apart and put it back together. There's a very good video on YouTube already about how to replace the clutch. It goes through in detail how to take everything apart, and so I'm not going to do that. So those are the two parts. The brush might be worn, have bad bearings. Also, these brush bristles, if your brush bristles are all falling apart, or there's barely any there, then that will impact its ability to pick up any hair, especially fine pet hair that's embedded into your carpet. So that will be a big reason as well. So anything problems with your brush, either the bearings or the brush bristles, replace the brush. And then if the brush stops turning when it has any force or friction placed on it, either from the carpet itself or from your fingers, if you're testing it out, then that's probably the belts, which you have to replace the whole clutch unit to replace these belts. And this was $29 on Amazon, and it's a Dyson branded unit. I think it comes from Dyson selling them on Amazon, so you're not getting some cheap knockoff. And it was only 29 bucks, so that's pretty good. Some other tools you might need are this set, which will help you take the brush head out. And so I'll put a link to that as well. And I'll put a link to the brush, and I'll put a link to the clutch unit. And there's also some other things you can replace when you're in there. There's a hose back behind here that you can replace. If yours is worn out, it might as well. I mean, you have it all apart, it's very easy to do. So you could also do this hose. I'll put a link to that too in the description. That's it. If your brush head is not moving fast enough, is not picking up, your Dyson's not picking up pet hair anymore like it used to, then that should help you to fix the problem. And seriously, after doing this job, which didn't take very long at all, this Dyson is running like brand new. I mean, it cleans the carpet amazingly. It's night and day difference from the old clutch to the new clutch on how well this thing cleans the carpets. So good luck, and if you have any questions, put them down in the comment section. See you in the next video.